everything in life has its ups and downs, isn't it? I'm sure that there will have been events you've put on where you've got certain acts booked. They have their timings. They know what time they need to be on set, especially headliners. And they're either running very late or not showed up at all.
What, you mean like Booker T on Boxing Day?
Yeah, Booker.
Let's talk about Booker T. Not the wrestler, though.
Booker T.
I thought that's all about Tamaya as a wrestler. It's an interesting story.
That was great, because he was ringing us up, weren't he? I'm on the motorway, but the car's broken down. So I'll be about 2 hours. Well, you're 2 hours anyway, normally. So 2 hours later, you get another phone call. No, you haven't turned up yet. And we're like, Booker, you ain't coming, mate. You got drunk on Christmas Day. You're not showing up. Just be honest. You know?
I'm pretty sure me and Bizzy can relate to that when it comes to time anyway. We're running a whole different time scale. I know with me anyway, it's just normal Asian culture. If I say I'm going to be there at a certain time, just always add an hour onto that. Always.
But it happens. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. You know, it just happens.
Well, do you pay them?
Nah.
Did you? Let's look at Booker T, for example. Did you pay him an advance fee
No.
first?
Nah.
Nothing. So no show, no
show.
pay.
No show, no
Great.
pay.
They're great.
I think you can count on sort of one hand anybody being late. You know,
Yeah.
normally with Bump and Hustle back in the days, because especially if they came down on a bank holiday, you knew they were coming down 3 days before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Because
staying at the hotel.
they were staying in the hotel.
It's a beach.
They've seen the women in the
ladies,
bikinis on
yeah.
the beach. They're staying.
Yeah.
The Americans would fly over a week before. Got one night in Bournemouth, but I'm staying up with Terry. Terry used to love it, mate. Terry Hunter. We couldn't get rid of him. He turned up. Terry, you got to listen to this. Yeah, I'm going to let it out. We did one of the Terry Hunter gigs, and we all ended up back at a flat, and Terry's just sat in the corner. And
been on the brandy, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, he's been on the brandy.
Drink.
And he does a great Cockney accent. So he's sat with a load of girls and they're all chatting away to him. And he's talking about fish and chips and everything else. And he's got them all, everyone's drunk, he's got them all suckered in. And he turns around and they said, so how long is it going to take you to get home? He's like, well, it's a long way back to Chicago. And I remember it was Joe. It was a girl called Joe. She could not believe that he was American.
Because he was putting on the accent.
Yeah.
And he was sat in her house. He wasn't in a hurry to go home.
Oh God! So it's like we look at things in going back, trying to do the comparison between when you guys first started and obviously what's happening now. Have you guys noticed a change in numbers? I mean, you spoke earlier about always getting over capacity. Blah. Nobody's condoning that, but is the core crowd still? I mean, I've been to a couple of parties. I see people I see every time I go to Bump. Yeah. So it's the core crowd. Is this still, in your personal opinion, are they still there? Like, okay, there's a Bump and Hustle next week. I'm announcing it today. I know I'm good for 400.
We'd stop if it wasn't.
Brilliant.
Good point.
Yeah, absolutely good point.
Yeah, we'd stop if it wasn't. It was our job, wasn't it? It was our job, so it was what we did. You know, but obviously we've gone on to have careers doing other things, but this is now something we enjoy doing, and Bob's son now plays. You know, my daughter pretty much runs the door and does all the.
She's good.
You met her, you know what I mean? Yeah. She's God bless her. She's now working for Dodge at Sevens. Well done, Emily. You're doing great. So, that's the next generation, and the 40-year-olds. Who we found at the K-Bar many moons ago when they were 20, okay, are now what I call the elder or the middle elder statesman. If we lose those, then we struggle because there's a gap, there's a generation gap.
Continuity. Yeah.
And it's keeping that continuity. So as long as they're there and us olders are still going out because we only have to come out 3 to 4 times a year. It's not too bad. You can get your Zimmer frame out. You can wheel yourself out.
And also, it's a 5-month recovery period. Back in the day, I'll be out Saturday night, 6 o'clock in the morning, Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm recovering now for 5 months.
But there are some olders who are still completely hardcore.
Yeah,
they'll be there at the afternoon session and still there at 4 in the morning.
I've seen them. Yeah. I mean, you just said something I was going to go with as the next question, the continuity side of it, especially with Kofi. I might be wrong here. He's been 6-7 years now because I noticed when you started putting him on.
Yeah.
Which I think is great because it gives the future's kind of set. It means that the brand you guys cherished and started with is still in good hands. Emily, you just mentioned as well.
Lee, Oliver Knight, Lee Evans.
Lee Evans, big up Lee.
He was the natural replacement for Aiden. ATFC, who was also a resident for many years. He was at college down here, and obviously Bob snapped him up. I don't know.
I was going to say, when I moved down to Bournemouth, Lee was one of the best R&B hip-hop DJs I knew.
They both were, Aiden and Lee.
ATFC, both could play wicked hip-hop.
Yeah.
And I think I remember listening
Took up the
to
Black
ATFC.
Market Records, didn't we?
Yeah, ATFC. Hip-hop, he was dropping some tunes, man, and I was just going, yeah, I can have it. Same as Lee.
But yeah.
Because nobody plays, you actually go around now, nobody plays hip-hop.
No, true.
Nobody plays hip-hop.
But Artwell.
Big up Mike Artwell.
I don't even think Artie plays sort of like the hip hop. Not like you look back in the day, like ATFC. Even Lee would drop Black Sheep.
Yeah.
Gangsta. Tribe Called Quest. All those different stuff. UMCs. Main Source. If anybody else is going to play hip hop, they'll play 50 Pence.
That is so true. Like I said, when I met Lee 2005, and he was going through his hip hop phase then, and that I see hip hop as a religion for me, and it's. So I've never met him. Got into, I think it might have been K-Bar or something. I
think it was.
Yeah. Because they had the 3 rooms in there.
Yeah, it was. I think it was K-Bar.
So I've gone in and I've gone through the door and hearing it was not what I was expecting to hear in the club that was supposedly playing R&B and hip hop. It was the gangster, the hard side of it.
Yeah.
And I looked and before I even looked, because you just follow the sound and see who. I've got who's playing. I just looked up. It's the white boy. Wow. So I would have introduced myself to him. Yeah. And I said, dude, my G. And I don't see him a lot now because obviously we got to get older, we got families and all that. But I know he's still doing great things as well. So big up Lee. Hopefully I see you soon. Olivier Knight. That's his
Oliver Knight.
Oliver Knight. That's his producer name. He's done a lot of production as well on the house side. I've heard a couple of those, and he's doing great.
He's done some massive tunes.
Yeah, and the weirdest thing, the nicest thing is the fact that him and Aiden collaborate. So it's 2 of our residents that are now working together. Crazy,
and
that has stemmed from you both putting them together.
Yeah,
and it's just greatness, really.
Yeah.
I just haven't found my money.
Again, I still want to speak about the present going to the future as well. I'll come back to Kofi because
can I just ask about just 2 seconds, just about your kids? You said your kids are involved now in it and around the music industry. Is that something they just naturally went on to, or did you sort of help them get involved, or they just wanted it?
It was something that they naturally done. I think Kofi first DJed when he was 16.
Because they grew up around it, didn't they?
Yeah. It was 16. Yeah, about 15, 16. And I remember his first set, I think he dropped Pete Rock and C.L. Smooth. He dropped Curtis Mayfield. And, and he was dropping all these rare funk tunes.
But then he put in Barclay James Harvest in the mix as well. He's got that curveball. I walked into Kofi's playing something very like he
New Order he dropped that time. Didn't he?
He'll play New Order, Blue Monday. But that's what's wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm saying. Sorry, Bob. Because what I seem to get from the new young DJs is I've always thought music, the art form, it should be, I call it edutainment. Right?
Yeah.
But what I get from the new young DJs is, I wasn't born then, or I don't know because it was not my era. it bothers me a bit, and that's why I'm amazed we hear about Kofi, because that's way before. I mean, obviously it helps being around the family with the ears for those kind of tunes, the classics. For me, I've always thought that is not an excuse. It shouldn't be. If you love music, if you see music as a form of release, entertainment, like in anything in life, whatever you want to do in life, you have to go and know what the backstory of it is.
That's right.
And when I started out playing, I wasn't born in the 60s, but I'll give you a good 90-minute 60s set right now.
Exactly.
70s, I would knock out disco, and that's not even my thing, but because good music is good music, and if I was around it, I think it's, for me, if I want to be a DJ or a producer or a singer or a rapper, whatever field, whatever genre, I need to go back and see and study and know
where it come from.
Where it came from. I think for an artist or in any walk of life, it makes you more wholesome, more fulsome.
I think that was the greatest thing about, we're talking about music, that was the greatest thing about hip-hop. Because hip-hop tracks, especially back in the day, were samples. And I remember myself and John were in New York, we're in this record shop, Upstairs Records. Upstairs Records. And
no, it's Downstairs Records, because it's upstairs.
Yeah, that's Downstairs Records, upstairs. But there was these kids, right, and they're going through this Wilson Pickett section, which was like 60s and 70s soul stuff. And I was just fascinated because these kids were about 17, 18. And I just walked up to him and I said, how come you're going through the Wilson Pickett section like that? And he said, because such and such sampled it, such and such sampled it. So they were going back in time to hunt these records. Yeah. And the problem is now is that a lot of the, well, I wouldn't say a lot of the youngsters, a lot of the youngsters don't know the basis of a music. All the youngsters that are going to get into Glitterbox or something like that, where it's disco orientated, they're prepared to learn. But back, now they just want to listen to stuff they've heard on the TV.
Yeah, I think with the DJs as well, I think it's what the demand is, isn't it? Because nowadays with the clubs, they know there's not going to be a demand to actually be that like.
Well, they don't have to dance because they're all sat in the VIP booth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that. That's a massive. The whole point where this conversation has gone full circle because that is exactly what's happened.
Yeah,
the DJs don't have to be exciting anymore in terms of the standard club because. You're not necessarily making them dance. So, you're playing things that are familiar to them. We would put on DJs years ago. We booked Larry Penn, and no one had even heard of Larry Penn. In fact, we had to fly to New York to go and meet him. So like that he was. No, because a tape just turned up. You know what I mean? And it sounded great, but it was what he played that people remember.
I remember because he was a DJ that DJs back then took chances. I remember in the middle of a house set. I think he dropped...
Now that we found love, Third World.
Now that we found love. In the middle of the set, I remember the place
just went off the scale. So that's music driven. Yeah. That's when music drives you.
When you have the element of surprise, when people, the punters have come in expecting a certain kind of sound and he just dropped that from nowhere, it gets the whole venue crazy. R&B night, hip-hop night, and I put in an Old School Jungle. The reaction, because that wasn't expected, but then it just knocks them off. And that feeling as a DJ, because you guys are DJs as well, you can't put a price on it. No. And again, with the youngsters now and the whole VIP thing, I still think it's a cop-out because back in the vinyl days, back when we didn't have MP3 files, DJs were still going back to know what was before them. Yeah. Does that make sense? It's even easier now. For a young DJ to say a young house DJ
access music
music straight away to know what was the big house tune 20, 25, 30 years ago. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah. So I still think is it laziness? Is it are they being a DJ for the right reason, or just want to be a DJ to be cool?
I think it's a case of being a DJ to be cool. But I think different areas.
It's like you said, it's a trend now, isn't it? Though the amount of people I know that just be like, "I'll take it as a hobby."
You can DJ off your phone, can't you? So I mean, it's the idea of having to go into record shops, spend 5 hours in there going through records. I mean, forget CDs and downloads. You had to listen to every record and then flip it over, and there'd be 5 mixes on there. So you were listening for what you liked. Because it wasn't being played on the radio. Yeah. It wasn't being... It had to be... So you were influencing what was going on the dance floor. doesn't quite happen so much now.
You think it's going to reverse now, the radio influence in the clubs?
I don't know. I listen to Radio 2 now, folks.
Listen, well, it's funny you're saying that, because I was with my girlfriend last week, and she just said, she goes, I think I'm getting proper old. She goes, start listening to Radio 2 now. I was like, because what song? She goes, it's just soothing. She goes, I'm on my way to work. And she goes, she can't be asked with all the noise now. So you are definitely getting older. I said, don't start talking like that, please.
I mean, the reason I say that is because, like, what Bob said earlier about, obviously, Donmore, for example, sending new songs for you guys to break. Because back then, the clubs used to break the artists and the music before it goes to radio. Yeah. Do you guys think it's now the reverse? It's like, hence though, everyone's just being comfortable and not literally being adventurous with it. I'm talking about DJs here, with going past what they think they can go past, play the unexpected, because radios now, I'm talking about commercial mainstream radio stations here, are now the ones influencing things. Yeah, they are. I think DJs do not take chances now, and what they do is they'll say Capital Dance Chart, got 20 records. The DJ now can just go and download that and just play the same chart. And you know, the people know the tunes. They've heard it on Capital, they've heard it on the radio, and that's what they want. It's very rare that you find, well, in Bournemouth, that you'll find a DJ that just go, right, they're playing this sort of like, even if it's a pop R&B set, just stick on some raw old hip hop. Yeah. You get that in Bristol, you get that in some other places, but not so much in Bournemouth. And another thing as well is, I think, again, from the outside looking in, I think loyalty is a big thing for you guys. And I'll explain why. I've seen flyers. I think I've seen, because you've been posting them a lot, I've seen flyers from 92, blah, blah, blah. I've seen your current flyers. And there is a constant there with certain names. Tony Angus. Yeah. One of the best DJs I've ever listened to. Bigger. Again, legend. And how does that feel where you have, because they're brothers now to you guys. Yeah. And they've grown with you from 30 years, so it's a lot, but they've been there from the start, and they're still there now playing for you guys. I know you have the link with Defective, with Simon Dunn, so you get good acts as headlines as well. But how does that feel to you? When you look back, it's the first ever flight you did, 1992, and obviously you got an April 17 event, 2022, and there's some names there, and they're here as well. How does that make you guys feel? Proud. Yeah? Proud. Because like I said earlier, it's all those backhanders they give us. It's family. It's a music family. You know, I can get on the phone, or Bob will get on the social media and go, get posted because we haven't seen anything from you, bro. but they know they're going to get that anyway because we're all part of the same family. And to be fair, I don't think one of the residents does it for money. It's done because they like to be part of what is Bump and Hustle. Yeah, you know, and that's and they can get out and play their music. They can play what they want to play. Yeah, because from what I've seen, when I've come down to obviously the Bump and Hustle parties, you smashed it, by the way, last time you were there. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. I mean, I'm talking about the DJs and it's got this reunion feel. Obviously, like you said earlier, 18, 20 years when you guys first started, they might have been at uni here, or they might have grown up here, but obviously they've gone to different parts of the country now. But then that 2, 3, 4 times a year, they come back. Because then it's, I haven't seen you for a while. I've always loved that. It's like, it's a good night out. Yeah. Music's great, but it's like a chance for friends to meet friends. And they can obviously go back and talk about, remember when we first came down to like 95 Bump and Hustle, we're still here, blah, 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 blah. And like I said, I've met some of them at your raves, and I'm friends with them. Gary, the Chin brothers, Chinwee brothers. Gary and his, yeah. Like, I mean, the first time I met Gary was literally at Bump and Hustle, and I said, we started coming down here when I was I think they were uni here. Yeah. And I don't even think they come down to Bournemouth any other time apart from Bump and Hustle. I was about to mention one of the back in the early days, because a lot of the students obviously worked for us, did stuff like that. One of my favourite people that turns up
pretty much at least once a year will be Louise Golby. Great R&B singer, you know, has been working with Omar and has got a new album out actually this week. But she just turns up.
Yeah.
You know, she's got family down here, but and I can't even remember what year it was she started working with us. But it's just nice to see those people coming back. And you're right, that's the nucleus and the core that we've been going on about. Is all part of this, and whether they be musicians, whether they be graphic designers, whether they be ex-students, or whether they've now got family down, or whether they've moved down here, they come back for that. It's the gathering. It's a meeting.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what makes it work is we don't do it every month.
Yeah.
Because
Make it limited, isn't it?
Less is better.
Less is more. Yeah.
Oh, less is more. Yeah, that's the one.
And it'll be an 8-month recovery period.
I remember my first. Yeah, I think it was Johnny. You that called me. My first Bump and Hustle booking. I'm grown, but it still felt special because, like I said, I've heard of Bump and Hustle for years. Before actually coming down to it, I've been to it. Then I get the booking, and I thought, wow, I'm actually gonna play at the legendary Bump and Hustle. It's huge. It was huge for me. Absolutely huge. And thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Well, thank you.
Bob was pissed. I remember coming down. I knew my set time.
Yeah.
So I think I was 10:30 after Tony.
Yeah.
Why is Tony doing early sets these days? Just can't be bothered. He just wants to just do that.
Because he likes to have a drink afterwards. Get his work out of the way.
I was after Tony, and so I've come down before I actually got on. I've gone downstairs to the dome to go to the loo. Then I think Bob, you're coming across and just, hey, come on. Literally, Bob just taking me everywhere. That's the booth. That's that DJ there. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. I absolutely
Find your own way around.
If I had known about the whole money thing, I should be looking down. Okay, yeah. Pick it up. So it was good. I wanted to get you guys down. Obviously, I spoke to the guys. I need. It's a big thing. It's 30 years of whatever. It's a huge thing, and this is like I wanted to pay my own respect for that. And obviously, you guys know what I think of you guys. But I thought we're starting this thing now. I have to get them on. It would be criminal.
Good brand, very good brand.
Thank you.
Criminal. Yeah.
Criminal back in the day.
You know that.
I remember that. It was what was the shop, and it was downstairs, wasn't it? I knew the guy.
Our office was above Criminal.
Oh right, okay.
They're
used to be the one back in the day. I remember that.
They're part of our story as well. You know, they would dress us for the event. God, remember back in the days when it was all suits.
Yeah.
Oh, you went through a suit phase? Yeah. Oh, feel the boots.
Hugo Boss.
Listen, you had to dress to go to Bump. You weren't getting in. Or you were, but you wouldn't look right.
You had a picture, Sean. You wanted to show him?
I will show them earlier.
You showed him earlier? Yeah. I was thinking that was like a 20-year picture because I saw the vinyl. What year was that?
Well, that was about 94.
Yeah, that would be about 94.
God, that's 28 years.
Yeah.
No one there.
Yeah. There we are.
Look how young they are.
Oh, yeah, we got Southport passes on it. Yeah, it was Southport. Yeah.
I've got alcohol in the hand.
Is that a drink you got?
Of course.
Money on the floor. Money on the floor, drink in the hand.
I don't think I took any money out.
The next time I come to Bump, I'm coming with a money bag. Where's Bob, by the way? I'll say hi.
Just think you were following Bob around. The Messiah, where is he going? I don't know. I'm going to follow him.
Oh, God. So, where can people get tickets for the April 17 gig?
They get it from skiddle.com, and they can pick something. We've got tickets in Barcelona.
They'll be going to Barcelona.
And they can buy paper tickets in Barcelona.
Yep. And VIP?
Yeah, that's a stall in the toilet. I'll bring you a bottle in there. You'll be all right. VIP, I mean, we are doing tables, but what they have to do is buy a ticket, and then we'll book the tables and tell them what the drinks package is.
So basically, buy a ticket first, contact them, email address, socials.
Yep. Just socials, Messenger, or on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And we'll get the tables sorted.
So for the VIP lot, these two are very busy men. So buy your tickets first. Don't be asking them about VIP without buying the ticket, because they won't have that kind of time. So show proof that you've got tickets, then they can entertain the VIP side for you. April 17, it's a bank holiday Sunday, Easter Sunday, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm looking forward to coming to it. The last one I came to was obviously August. That was my first night out in the pandemic.
That was good, wasn't it?
It was. I came late.
Yeah, it was good.
I fell asleep, and the firing squad guys. It was I think it was Mark's birthday.
Right.
They had a booking in London that night.
Right.
Which got cancelled, obviously, but pandemic. So they just thought, you know what, let's go London, and let's go Bournemouth, it's bump and hustle.
Yeah.
So I'm watching telly as you do during the pandemic times, and I normally fall asleep. So it was like 12 midnight. My phone's literally next to me, and it rang. I picked up the phone. Busy? Yeah. Where are you? You just woke me up. Where are you? We're in Bournemouth for your bump and hustle. It's Mark's birthday. So, oh, great. I literally got up, had a shower, got a cab. I think I got there 20 minutes to 1.
Yeah.
I saw you, because you didn't have a hat on.
It's rare,
yeah,
isn't
it was very rare. Whoa. It's like,
hang on. A big nod to our sponsors, Mermaid Gin.
Mermaid Gin, we are expecting that check. Times are hard, man. Things are going up.
Don't give me cash.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to give us a box of Mermaid Gin, it's 12 in a box, right?
Yeah.
We wouldn't say no. We could sell some and drink some. Big up Mermaid Gin. But we are looking forward to the 17th of April. I mean, it feels like summer now, so you can imagine. I've heard it's a heat wave in April.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you guys are going to start with the
We'll start with the afternoon
daytime.
sessions.
Yeah.
Mr. Johnson and his mates will be on the terrace from about 2:00 in the afternoon.
And that's the free thing, isn't it?
That's a free thing.
Will they have barbecue out this time? It always helps.
There's food available, so there is either a food from the bar, or sometimes they do a barbecue. So we'll check with Harry and the guys at Bar So. But there's always something people can eat. It's a good day. It's a good way to start.
We did get Floyd down once. We went from Jerka. He came the day afterwards.
Yeah. He was late. Yeah, by a whole day.
Are there any more stories? I wanted to ask about something. I thought, oh, they're married now. Maybe just don't go there.
Yeah, don't go there.
So, I mean, if you look at, obviously, going back and coming forward as well, there's all this act you guys booked. I'm guessing sometimes they must have, especially if you had them, because Bournemouth is a resort town. And as we know, if you book late, on a bank holiday weekend, for example, it's hard to get something. So I'm guessing sometimes they'll probably catch at one of your places.
Yep.
I have loads of after party stories myself, but then I've not been doing this for 30 years. I can only imagine that.
Grant Nelson does not fit on a normal size sofa.
Okay, so what happened then? What do you?
Grant just doesn't fit on a normal size sofa.
Has he
He's too long.
But he slept on the floor?
No, he slept on the sofa, but his head was hanging off. Like a Christmas cracker. You could have run his neck and twisted his toes.
and again, you mentioned it earlier, because back then Bournemouth had most of them was 2 a.m.
One.
First, yeah.
1
o'clock at first.
So what time did you guys start? 8 p.m. then?
8, and we were ran by 9 o'clock.
We shut the doors.
Shut the doors at 9:30.
Because people knew that, you know what, we have to be there before a certain time.
I can't imagine anything starting at that time.
There is a good story. There was remember the Christmas one back at the show bar. There was one we did, and it was chucking snow down. So everyone turned up early. Mm-hmm. We tell everybody, even the hardcore, just come early because you're not going to get in otherwise.
Yeah.
So by 9:30, it was literally gale. There was a gale going outside. We were rammed inside, and there was the mother of all cues outside, and people banging on the windows
just to get out of the snow.
We couldn't let anybody in. Bob and I had to go downstairs, look round the corner, and wave, and then disappear.
I can imagine if there was social media back then, they would have just gone straight up to the page and said,
oh, yeah, thank God mobile
I'll
phones
tell you
weren't
what, if there
popping.
was social media back then, I think there'd be a load of divorces.
Yeah.
And some lawsuits.
Oh God! So it's from a personal level. I'm so happy you guys came down. I appreciate you guys coming down here, and I'm looking forward to. I don't know how many I'm going to attend, but I know I'm going to attend a couple. It just depends on schedule and timing. I know my Easter's free, so I'm there. I'm guessing the Jubilee one. I don't know because I have two. I have a mom's birthday but.
What you mean? Are you talking about August? Or
No, you have the Jubilee one first.
Oh, the Grant Nelson one.
Yeah. So you have the.
Oh,
April
are you about then?
for the June one?
Yeah.
That's the first weekend in June, right?
Yeah, isn't it?
We give him a booking.
Yeah, might as well.
I'll get you $5 for it.
As Fat Joe would say, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Don't ask, don't get, innit? You know?
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
Let's
That's
do it.
That's
Let's do
that
it.
done.
So isn't it? So, we can have him come and film it.
There you go.
Business.
Sean, you got the drums out. Innit?
Yes, I'll be up for that. I need to practice more, but I'll do that definitely.
Yeah, you can make a party out of it.
Bob's just sat there quiet.
He's a bongo drum, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of. I want to do it more. But we'll see.
All right. What advice would you have for Sean? He's getting on the decks. He's been spending, obviously pandemic, nothing else to do, so he's been spending time doing
I'll
that.
go into the whole trend as well. Something,
Right.
you know what it was?
I'll give you a serious tip.
Go on.
Don't listen to anybody else and buy all your own music.
Okay.
Seriously, buy everything that you think is good. Don't listen to radio. Don't listen to nothing. Just go on to go on to whether it be Beatport or Tracksource or whatever, or any of the download sites. Buy your music.
Okay.
Put together your own mixes. Okay. Don't be influenced by anybody else. Just be you.
That's the main thing I was trying to do because I didn't want to go down. Everyone was saying when I've asked them advice, they said, "What music do you want to play?" And I said, "I don't really want to have a certain genre. I want to try everything and then see what comes naturally to me." I think I personally feel that's always the best way, isn't it?
Yeah. Just get what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Get what you enjoy.
If it's something you enjoy, you're going to play it more.
Go on, I know exactly what I was going to say.
Teji.
I knew that was coming.
We got this Indian guy from Luton, right? He sent down his tape, and the tape was good. It mixes well, some great tunes. But they just went on to a disco session.
It was a cassette tape.
It was a cassette tape as well. We'd sent a cassette tape.
Yeah.
A cassette tape. And went on a disco session. I said to John, we got a booking. Because disco wasn't big then.
Mm-hmm.
And he just went on to this disco session. I said, right, he's just done something.
Very different. He wasn't the same as the rest.
Middle of a house set, he started playing Philly.
Yeah, and so we just went, right, we got a
Book him.
Yeah. And I think any DJ, if you want to do something different and be taken notice of, is just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just do something different
Yeah.
in the sets.
Got that?
Definitely.
So you can get this house.
You'll see me soon.
Get the banger out.
That's what I want to do. I'd love to bring. I'd love to try and bring.
house.
Well, we tried it, didn't we? We tried a banger night. We did. How long ago was that?
That was 20
in DNA.
Yeah, DNA. It was good though.
So we randomly, it was so funny as well, wasn't it? Because we were trying the whole time, we thought, where can we get the crowd down that's going to want to come to banger night, and just so weirdly, wasn't it by coincidence? What did we have? 30 or 40 guys who were on a stag do.
Yeah,
I'm not joking.
Yeah, it was June as well.
You can't write it.
The time people start coming to Bournemouth. Yeah.
All these 30 or 40 Indian guys who were just randomly walking down the hill on a stag do, and they were like, "Yeah, we got banger music playing in here." They come in, they just literally
killed it.
Everyone off the floor and just made it their own spot. And that was it. That's it. They got all the girls involved, showing them how to do the moves and everything. Loved it.
But that's the beauty of, and you hadn't. The beauty is, you set your heart out to do something. You followed you followed your own initiative. You went down the route you went, and it worked.
Yeah,
and that's what I said about music. Just go and buy your own music.
Yeah.
Right, we have we got, and he's obviously you live in a social media era now. So your socials. Let's plug the socials out there if you remember them.
Ask Bob.
Socials.
That was a pregnant pause.
Facebook search.
Yeah, we've got a Facebook page, which is Bump and Hustle.
Yep.
We've also got an Instagram page, which is Bump and Hustle, and also a Twitter. I haven't got around to doing TikTok.
I was gonna say, get Kofi to get a TikTok thing around for you.
TikTok.
It is huge now. It's breaking artists.
Yeah.
It's
It's horrible.
We had nothing else to do in the pandemic, mate. We had to do TikToking. Saves the clock.
You got teenagers dancing in the middle of the bloody shop, you know, for no reason. I don't
They
get
do,
it.
don't they? Like in the middle
Just
of
in the middle
Tesco's
of
and
nowhere.
Asda. Yeah.
All right, mate.
I'm seeing like you get they get the zebra crossings now, innit? And literally just the cars just staring at them and just do stuff on the zebra crossing. So I'm thinking, one day we have a psycho driver thinking it's not this. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but it can see it. It's a numbers game. The more people get silly on that.
So I'll be on TikTok.
Everybody their phones out. TikTok. Guys, it's been an honor to get you guys here. Unfortunately, obviously, Tess couldn't make it down, our co-host, because she was looking forward to this. She is a bump and hustle nut.
Oh, hopefully she'll be there.
She will be. She will be. So big up to Tess.
Big up Tess.
Big up Tess.
Hope your throat gets a lot better.
What was that awkward?
That was very awkward. Just the awkward stares there. Something we should know.
Tess has got tonsillitis. For the record, Tess has got tonsillitis.
3 questions, guys. I did want to ask 3 questions.
Left it a bit late.
Yeah, I know, I did. No, these just quick fire questions for both of you guys. Worst advice you ever received from whenever?
Worst advice?
Worst advice, if you say around your career.
Don't do it.
Do it wrong.
Yeah, I go along with the same thing. It's just it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the best advice.
Do you know what? I'm going to say that being John Knight and Kevin Sheehan, as far as Bump and Hustle are concerned,
Yeah.
because they kind of made us believe that we could do it. That's what I would say myself.
Yeah, because they worked for the council and they were really supportive.
Yeah, so supportive.
Which is quite.
Big shout to Rod Zaradsky as well.
There's a little story about the old council. We, 2 black guys, we're running gigs in that time, the Pavilion and the Show Bar. We've had to go for a meeting with 2 superintendents of the police, 2 councillors and a member of the staff, and they're looking there because it's just 2 black guys running this gig. And I remember one of the old Bill said, Superintendent Roberts, he goes, we're not worried about any problems at the gig because we know what Mr. Povey's all about. Well, I just went,
Your record was already out there.
Reputation precedes you.
But no, those 2 were really good, really supportive.
Yeah.
Because at that time as well, you actually look at it. You know, Bournemouth was a sleepy town. You know, we'd be putting 1,500 people into a night, and 400 or 500 of those would be black people, and it was something that this town had never seen.
And at the same time, isn't it?
At the same time,
it rolls on because they didn't just help us and advise us and support us.
Yeah,
they'd be there. Kevin Sheehan would be at the bar.
Yeah, they would be at the bar.
They'd be at the bar. They were
music.
part of the event, and you know it's a testament to their faith in us that let us go from an attempt at the Show Bar to the Windsor Hall.
We put 3,000 in.
Windsor Hall is big for those who don't know. It's huge. It's 4.5, 5.5, or 4.5, 5,000.
4,500 people.
It's the biggest arena here in Bournemouth. So, and to do it that time, pre-social media as well, that's nuts. That's nuts. You have a third question, there.
Didn't it? Yeah. Oh, quickly.
Carry on.
That was the picture that went into Music Magazine.
No, that was the.
Was it Mixed Mag or Music?
Music Magazine was.
It was
6,000.
6,000 people.
We've done the round one
Because we refused to advertise in the magazine, but they put a double page spread in there going no advertising, no marketing, no external promotion.
6,000.
6,000.
Yeah.
We got interviewed. We got interviewed that night by some dance program.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Club Vision.
Club Vision.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they come up to us. They said, "Right, we want to interview you." I said, "Right." I said, "Okay, interview us at 9 o'clock. Don't interview us any later because we'll be smashed. So, because you broke your arm at the time, it was in a sling. So they came up to us about 11:30. We're hanging. 11:30, and the girl who's interviewing us has got this really low slung dress with her boobs hanging out. So it's on the screen. You can find it somewhere. So she's interviewing us. She's asking questions. I'm so drunk, my head's in her boot. I'm not.
Not even trying to be slow.
I'm not even talking to her face. She's asking this question. I'm going, yeah, well, yeah.
Nice to meet you too.
There's no eye contact. It's just.
Lisa.
My mate's at the side. You can see him at the side because he's come down from Portsmouth, and he's just looking, laughing. As I'm sliding down the chair. It wasn't intentional. It was just that I was very drunk.
I mean, to be fair, he didn't tell them to get there for 9. They got 2 hours there.
Yeah, they were warned.
All right. You have a third question?
Anything you'd change with the Bump and Hustle career? Would you change anything? But when you started it, would there be anything you'd do anything differently?
No, because I think everything is a learning curve. So even the mistakes we've made, we've learned from them.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't change anything because it is a learning curve as you go along.
Yep.
All happened for a reason.
Yeah, everything. And you learn from it. Anything you do, you learn. You just think, well, we can't do that again. That didn't work.
We've made it to 30 years, and we've made mistakes, but we've made it to 30 years. So it's changed nothing.
Yeah, and the main thing as well is learning from those mistakes as well.
That's right.
Kind of thing. Well, this has been a great episode. Definitely getting you guys back. It's because obviously Bob, I know your stance on certain things and blah blah blah. So, John, you're just the music guy.
Yeah, I just love my music.
we can talk about the football side, the
Football is. I love my football. I love my music.
Who do you support?
Queen's Park Rangers.
Big up QPR.
I will always.
Oh, definitely. Got me, I bleed red.
I'm West Ham.
There you go.
Hey, he's gonna
Come on, you are fucking massive.
You are.
So Europa League this definitely, or are you still chasing that top 4?
Yeah, we could just sneak in, I think. But the trouble is, though, you're on a run, aren't you, Arsenal?
Take it one game at a time.
Yeah, I think you get in there.
And QPR, I think
Playoffs.
They're in the playoffs, right? Isn't it?
We're 8th place at the moment. We're slipping, but we've got Super Charlie Austin, local lad. We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
You've got a young lad. I can't remember the name. It's come through your youth system.
Ilias Chair.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hear good things, but is it?
He's as good as Eze. He's better than Eze.
That's what I've heard. Are you guys gonna keep him next season, or?
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
Big up. All right, guys. We're definitely gonna have you guys back again because I think, like I said, there's other things.
There's more stories.
And more stories. So this has been great. And
can we do an after midnight one where we can do the X-rated one?
Well, I was gonna just put it after midnight.
I was gonna suggest next time it'd be a bottle of alcohol here. Then we'll see what kind of stories come out.
Oh, it's gonna come out definitely, 100%.
Trevor Nelson, we won't tell him the story. We're doing Alias. We know it's you.
Calling Tom Wilson.
That man, Nelson Trevor.
Mad Hatter Kid.
Yeah, guys, so don't forget, the first in the round of party series to celebrate 30 years of Bump and Hustle is on April the 17th. That's Easter Sunday. Facebook search Bump and Hustle. Tickets can be found on the link Skiddle. Search Bump and Hustle. If you live in the Bournemouth area, go down to Bar So. Royal Exeter sell tickets as well. We're just next to it, and it's going to be a great night. Like I say, it's the first of a run of celebrating 30 years, and please don't miss out. I'll be there. If you find me, I'll probably be around Bob because I'll be picking up coins. It's hard out here, man. Petrol prices gone up. Get whatever I can. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next episode. Thank you very much.
Thank
you guys.
Thank you very much. Cheers.